reviewing the anatomy of our abdominal muscles or our torso. Oftentimes people think of their abdominals, as I've said before, as right here. And this is only one portion of your abdominals. Your abdominals wrap all the way around your entire torso. So when we're working our abdominal muscles, you need to be working three-dimensionally around your entire torso. Our deepest layer of abdominal muscles is our transversus abdominis, and it wraps from the lower back, in the back of your body, all the way around to the front of your body. So this deep layer is responsible for the last 20% of expiration. So as we talked about last week, when you cough, your transversus abdominis contracts and creates your cinched waist. All right? It also helps to stabilize our lower back. So this deep muscle needs to be strong to help prevent back injuries as well. In addition to our transversus abdominis, we have our internal obliques. These lie on top of the transversus abdominis, and they go from the crest of the ilium, our iliac crest here, and they draw upward in a V, okay? And these muscles help to pull our abdominals up and in from the bottom portion. So when we're doing our pelvic tilts or things like that, we're really trying to fire up our internal obliques. All right. Our external obliques are on top of our internal obliques. That's why they're called external, haha. And they start all the way up here at our rib cage, and they draw down in a little V. All right, so this makes an A, and this makes a V. All right, the external obliques draw down. Can we all see how that works? All right. There are posterior fibers of the internal and external obliques. So what that means is there's fibers of the internal and external obliques that come around on the back side of our body, and they work to help stabilize our pelvis and then to move us in different ranges as we're moving our spine. So on top of the internal and external obliques is the rectus abdominis. The rectus abdominis starts down at our pubic symphysis, down at the base of our pelvis, and draws all the way up to our rib cage, okay? So as you can see, our abdominals are not just right here, but they wrap around and come up and go down and wrap over through our whole torso. The rectus abdominis is our outside shell layer of abdominal muscles. It creates our six-pack look. It's really an eight-pack. It's just covered up down at the bottom by some of our other muscles. All right. This muscle, when we're trying to do exercises like our roll-ups or even just regular crunches at the gym, we like to push it out and make us look very fat. And if we continue to do our crunches or our roll-ups or different abdominal exercises by pushing that muscle out, all right, our abdominals actually get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we actually get fatter and fatter and fatter by doing our exercises because we're doing them improperly, okay? That is why we use our breath. Every time we exhale, we create that cinched, hollowed sensation, stabilizing our lower back, pulling everything up and in, and that allows this muscle to pull up and in as well, as opposed to using it to push out and make our abdominals fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. So if you see anyone who goes to the gym and works out all the time, and they say they do all sorts of crunches, and they've got a very big, thick waist, they're pushing their abdominals out using their rectus abdominis, as opposed to pulling their abdominals up and in and using their breath to initiate their movement. Welcome back. So today I wanted to take a moment and focus on learning how to move our head off from the ground properly, all right? So let's go ahead and lie down onto our backs, ladies. Now, for those of us who may have a forward head posture, meaning we sit at the computer all day and start to take this shape of our body, a very wonderful thing to do so that you can start in an efficient start position is place a little pillow or a blanket underneath our head. And although Nicole's not too far forward with her head, we're going to use her as a demonstration on what this may look like. you just put a little pillow underneath your head, and then it'll lift your head up so that your head isn't falling backwards and already creating strain. So if you want to, Nicole, jut your chin forward a bit. Sometimes when we have a forward head posture and a rounded back, we put our head down and then it feels like our head is falling all the way off backwards and it feels terrible. You may know what I'm talking about. Simple, put a little pillow there and let your head line up, and then you feel much better and you don't have as much tension in your neck, especially as you actually start to try and lift it off from the ground. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, let's go ahead, bend our knees, ladies, and let's put our feet sits bone distance apart, so just about as wide as your hips. And we're gonna start in our neutral pelvis, or our optimal pelvis, remembering where the two hip bones and pubic bone are flat across the top. And we may have a little space underneath our lower back here. And let's just start with our shoulder girdle. One of the biggest things when we bring our head off from the ground is we do not stabilize using our shoulder girdle and connecting into our abdominals. We just lift our head off the ground and stick our belly up. So let's take a big inhale, ladies, and let's shrug our shoulders up by our ears. Now exhale, glide your shoulders down your back and lift your arms off from the ground, just hip height. Stay there and feel how the shoulders pulling down and the ribs connecting in and the belly pulling to the back and the back pulling to the belly, how much work you're already getting, and it already starts to feel like you're gonna lift your head off from the ground. Let's go again. Put your arms down and let's shrug our shoulders up. And now exhale. Push your shoulders down to our hips and just lift the arms off from the ground. And put the arms down. One more time. Together, inhale, shrug the shoulders up high. Now exhale, glide the shoulders down and lift the arms off from the ground. Excellent work. Let's put your arms down. Now let's add drawing our chin down. So let's inhale, draw your chin down and feel the back of your neck go long. Good, and now exhale, bring it back to the start. And again, inhale, draw the chin down, feel the back of the neck go long. And exhale, bring it back to where it was. Two more, inhale, draw the chin down, bring the back of the neck long. And exhale, bring it back. One more time, inhale, draw the chin down, feel the back of the neck go long. And exhale, bring it back. Good. All right. Now, let's put those two things together and actually lift our heads off from the ground for a moment. All right? Let's just give it a try. Inhale, draw your chin down, feel the back of the neck go long. Now, as we breathe out, let's bring our shoulders down to our hips, reach our arms off, and start to fold your head forward right at your rib cage. See if you can go ahead and keep your pelvis in neutral while you do this, focusing right on your obliques up here, compressing the belly to the back and the back to the belly. Let's take a nice big inhale. And let's roll back down. Good. Let's do two more, demonstrating how fabulous that looks. Inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, shoulders down, reach the arms, hollow the belly, fold forward. Let's take a breath. And let's exhale, lower down. Again, inhale, nod. Exhale, scoop, hollow, and reach. Inhale, and lower down. Exhale. One more. Inhale, nod. Exhale, scoop, hollow, and reach. Inhale, and lower down. Exhale. Good. Let's go ahead and take one moment and look at some different things that start to happen if we don't use all of those fundamentals in lifting our head off from the ground. All right? Let's go ahead and just come up, but push your belly up to the ceiling as you do that, ladies. I know this will feel awkward, but let's give it a go. So inhale, nod, glide the shoulders down. Now as you exhale, come forward, but push your belly out and make it as big as you can. Now stay for a minute. Feel all that tension in your neck, feel all the tension in your shoulders, and now lower back down. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Push your belly out to the ceiling as hard as you can. I know it feels terrible. Inhale, stay, and lower down. So this is not what we want to do. Let's do another thing that we don't want to do. This next time, I want you to push your chin forward and push your shoulders forward as hard as you can, all right? Inhale, nod. Exhale, come forward, push your shoulders forward and your chin forward. This is not beautiful, ladies. Inhale and exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, nod. Exhale, push your shoulders forward, push your chin forward. Excellent work at being terrible. Inhale and exhale, lower down. Now let's do just a couple more. Let all of that filter out and let's do it well, okay? Inhale, nod your chin. Exhale, glide your shoulders down, hollow your belly, and fold forward with all that fabulous support. Feel how free your neck is. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, lower down. One more, just like so. Nod, lengthen, and exhale, hollow and scoop. Good. Inhale and lower down and exhale. Very good. Take a moment and rest. All right, so we've worked on folding forward and how to do that well. Now we're going to fold backwards, all right? So we have an exercise called Swan Prep that we're going to do to explore this. So let's go ahead and flip on over to our tummies. Now, again, if you have a forward head posture, like many people who sit at the computer daily do, you can take that pillow that you had at the back of your head and now put it right up underneath your forehead, and it gives you just a little bit more support and gets your neck in a far more neutral alignment to start out with. Good. Does that feel okay, Nicole? Excellent. All right. So let's again start with our shoulders. A lot of times when we're going backwards, we get confused of the difference between our spine and our shoulders, and we try and pinch everything together and come all the way up. So let's go and inhale, ladies, shrug your shoulders up by your ears. Now exhale, glide them down your back and feel the shoulder blades wrap around and into your armpits. Good. Let's go ahead, Audrey, let your arms go out a little bit wider. Good, and feel those shoulder blades widen even more. Good. Go again, ladies. Inhale, reach the shoulder blades up by the ears. Now, glide the shoulder blades down and open them wide and into your armpits. Good. Two more. Inhale, shrug those shoulders up. And exhale, glide them down and feel them wrap and open wide. One more. Inhale, shrug them up. And exhale, glide them down and wrap and open wide. Nice. All right. For this next part, let's already separate your legs. So let's separate them and turn them out sideways. Good. And let's, Audrey, even pull these down just a little more and a little wider. Excellent. All right. Now this next time, I want you to reach out through the crown of your head and start to lift your spine backwards, or your head out and up backwards, without pinching your shoulder blades together as much possible. So you're going to feel your shoulder blades widen as your spine reaches out and you start to lift up. Keeping, of course, your abdominals hollow the whole time. Let's try together. Inhale, let's shrug our shoulders back up like we did. Now exhale, glide them down and wide, reach out through the crown of your head and start to come up, keeping your last rib touching onto the mat. Excellent. Now let's stay here. Widen your scapula more as you inhale. And exhale, fold forward, peel the ribs up from underneath you. Nice work. Let's go ahead and do it again. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up for fun. Now exhale, glide them down, open them out, and extend the spine. Imagining you have a magic eye at the top of your chest and you're pushing that magic eye forward. Inhale, and now exhale, fold down, pull the ribs up underneath you, hollow your belly more. Keep activity in your lower legs as you do this. Let's do two more. Shrug your shoulders up. Inhale, exhale, pull the shoulders down, reach out through the crown of the head, shine your magic eye forward, keep lifting in your belly. Deep breath, and let's exhale. Fold the ribs and come back down. One more. Beautiful, ladies. Shrug the shoulders, inhale. Glide the shoulders, exhale, reach out, come up. Nice big extension. Keep the belly lifted. Inhale, and now exhale, fold down. Good. Okay, ladies, let's do a couple of examples of what we don't want to do. This next time, as we come up, just lift your heads and crank in your neck and feel how miserable that is on your neck. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, glide the shoulders down. Now start to lift the head, but don't bother to lift the chest at all. Just look forward. This is not what we are going for. And feel how terrible that feels on your neck. We do not want to do that. Inhale and lower down. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, hollow the belly. Now just crank in the neck and look forward and see how nothing really happens in your back. You're getting it all right in your cervical spine and your neck. Take a breath and lower down. Let's do another common error that happens when we're extending backwards. Let's pinch our shoulder blades together. So this next time, lift your head and pinch your shoulder blades together and don't bother to lift your shoulders whatsoever. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, lift the head, pinch the shoulder blades together tight and try and come up. Not good. Inhale and exhale, go back down. One more like that. Inhale, exhale, lift the head back, pinch the shoulder blades together. Good. Good at being bad. Inhale and exhale, lower down. All right, let's do a couple more now, but let's do them well. All right? Here we go. Shrug your shoulders up high, inhale. Glide your shoulders down. Exhale, reach out through the crown of your head. And now come up, wide shoulder blades, hollowing the belly, beautiful cervical spine alignment. Deep breath, and exhale, fold down. Last one. Deep breath, and exhale. Glide the shoulders down, reach out, come up. Good job. Deep breath, and fold back forward. Very nice. Go ahead, press yourself into child's pose and just take a rest. All right, let's talk about twisting. Our twisting muscles in the front of our torso are the internal obliques and the external obliques. They work together in something called the sash effect. That's the fancy word for it, where the internal obliques and the external obliques of opposing sides come together and close, creating the twist in the torso. So do we see how that works here? Internal obliques down here, external obliques up here, twist. You also have muscles in your back that do the opposite on the other side as you twist, all right? But we're gonna focus right now on the front ones, all right? So let's sit up. One of the difficult things in twisting is that we often have to sit while we're doing it and we cannot get in neutral pelvis because our hamstrings are so darn short. So feel free to sit on top of a chair. We're using the boxes from the reformers today, along with just the reformer bed, okay? So come up to seated, ladies, and find us a beautiful neutral pelvis where our rib cage is engaged, our belly and our back is engaged, and our head is right on top of our shoulders. Excellent. Let's bring our arms up in genie position, keeping our pelvis still on the bottom. Inhale, tall. Now exhale, twist to the right, feeling your left rib and your right hip coming closer together. Good. Inhale, get taller. Let's go to the right again. Exhale, twist a little further. Stay there. Inhale, get a little taller. And now exhale, twist to the right as much as you can, feeling that left rib and the right hip coming together like best friends. Now come back to the center. Good work. Let's go to the left. Inhale, tall. Now let's exhale, bring that right rib to the left hip. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, right rib to the left hip. One more. Inhale, taller, and exhale, right rib to the left hip. And come back center. Now, ladies, let's demonstrate what we do when we don't bring our ribs to our hips working together. Just move our arms. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, twist those elbows to the right. Sometimes we think we're twisting and we're just moving our arms. Inhale, get taller. Twist a little more by pushing those arms to the right. Inhale and exhale. Push those arms to the right as much as you can, and now come back center. Good. Let's try for fun bringing our hands in the prayer position. This will help make sure that our nose and our fingers and our rib cage twists simultaneously. Let's go to the right again. Inhale, exhale, twist. Now pause a moment there. Did your shoulders move or did your arms pass to the side of your chest? Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist. Keep those hands right in line with your nose. One more, inhale. Exhale, twist as far as you can and come back to the center. Last set, inhale to the left, exhale, twist. Inhale, taller. Exhale, twist. Inhale as tall as you can and exhale as far as you can. Very good, and rest. Good. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like more information on the Upside Down Pilates Studio, feel free to visit us at www.upsidedownpilates.com.